Welcome to VLSI Academy. This is 19th lecture and today we will understand further about the timing report of input to flip-flop path. Previously we have covered intra timing report in lecture 17 and reg to out timing report in lecture 18, and link of these two is given in the description below for your reference, and this lecture is part 3 of this topic. Alright, let's get started with into reg timing path report. So this is a timing path where this is input port, this is flip-flop, and this is into register path, and this is clock port. So let's see the timing report. So like earlier, this report is also divided in three different parts, and first part is where you will find the general details like start point, end points, and path group type. So all these details are general details of a timing path which you will see. And we have previously discussed that there are three different path groups created by the tool in general. That is clockwise path group, which is named after a clock name, and then reg to out path group, which is generally named as outputs, and third is into reg type path group, which is named as inputs. This is already explained in the previous video also, and if you again want to check out, so the link is again given in the description below. And this is since into reg timing path group, so name is given as path group type input here, and you can see that path type is max, which means it is a setup timing path. Now let's see the rest of the timing path. So you can see that it is starting at clock and ending at the flip-flop endpoint, and this timing arc flow is like this actually. So this is the complete path which will become reg to reg eventually at the top level. We have explained this earlier also, but in the interface what happens is you see half of the timing path only. So you will see from input port to reg, but it is actually reg to out also for the neighboring partition. We have discussed this in the previous video also, and here again we are explaining that it is actually half of the path for you, so you are seeing only half of it. And if you see here, it is mentioned as virtual clock. So the arcs is starting at virtual clock. Virtual clock is nothing but it is defined as any clock without a source, and you can say that actually it has been defined, but it is not associated with any pin or port. So if you see, it is actually coming from some other partition which is not inside yours. So to understand that at top level it might not be virtual, but for your partition it will be actually virtual clock for associated with this port, because this clock is not present in your partition. It is actually from here, and the arc will be coming like this for this port. So this port is actually associated with this clock which is not actually present, but to have a clock associated with this port we create a virtual clock. And generally interface paths like input output ports paths, they have such clocks associated with the ports. Now let us understand the timing path report here. We can see that it starts with clock virtual clock M. So let's say the port name is CLKM and it is virtual clock. So there will be virtual clock created, and which is not associated with this port. That would be associated with this clock. So this will be our virtual underscore CLKM. This is the name of that clock. So it is coming from here, and input external delay is 2.55 nanosecond. That means the delay which is coming from here till this path, till this point of this port, it is 2.55 nanoseconds. And after that, there is total path delay till now is 2.55 nanoseconds. Now the inverter is there in the combo logic. So this is your combo logic. Let's write the total combo logic delay. So that is first inverter delay is 0.02 nanoseconds. That would be around 20 picoseconds. So first is 20 picoseconds plus there is a and 2 cell. It is by name it looks like it is AND. So this AND cell has a delay of total 60 picoseconds, around 60 picoseconds. So this 60 picoseconds also gets added. You can see that in the path column it is getting added also. So total till now is 2.63. After that there is one more inverter with 20 picoseconds. So this is total delay till it reaches this D pin of the flip-flop. So till it reaches the D pin of the flip-flop, the delay is 20 plus 60 plus 20, so 100 plus this 2.55 nanoseconds. So total it becomes 2.65 nanoseconds. So this is actually in picoseconds, but it is in nanoseconds. You cannot directly add it. You need to take the unit also in consideration. So total is 2.65 nanoseconds of arrival time at this pin. So if you see at this pin, this is D pin, and you can write down AT, arrival time is 2.65 nanoseconds. Now let us look at the capture clock path. So if you see here, it starts with CLKM port at the rising edge, and it is 10 picoseconds of the clock period. This is setup timing report. So we have one full clock cycle here, that is 10 nanoseconds. So if you see, CLKM is the starting point of the clock. This is the timing path report with full path expanded. That is, clock path is also expanded. In general, we see the report with clock input. So we do not see the clock path generally in the timing report. Here they have added full path means in the start and end point, whatever the clock is propagating, it will give you the clock expanded. So if there are any clock buffers in the clock path and all the delay, we do not get the clock network delay directly, we get expanded. So if you have any clock buffers in the clock path, total clock network delay will not be there, it will be expanded clock network delay. So let's say after this we see that there is input port. So it starts with this. Actually, if you see, this is your starting point, CLKM input port. This is this port, and we know that. Let's draw the waveform for the reference now. So let's say we have waveform of launch side, and we have a waveform at the capture side. So this is capture and this is launch. One full clock cycle we take for calculation. So this is this clock cycle, and after that CLKM in starts. After that we have buffer, UCKF buffer 0. So it has 60 picoseconds of delay. So let's draw one buffer for the reference, then again one buffer 2, and again one buffer 3 before it reaches UFF2/CK. So this is the CK pin, and this is the flip-flop with the name of UFF2, and its CK pin is this. So till it reaches, it has 3 clock buffers in between. So one is this, another is this, another is this, and each buffer is having some delay. So let's see, 60, 70 and 60 total. These are 60, 70 and 60. These are the buffers. So total clock network delay will become 60 plus 70, 130 plus 60, 190 picoseconds. That is 1.9 is getting added to this 10 nanoseconds. So total network delay you can see is here 10.18 is your total. That means it has 180 approximately, it has calculated. So it is actually 180 picosecond is getting added to this clock period. So total required time becomes 10.18 nanoseconds. But we have clock uncertainty also and library setup time also, and we know that it gets subtracted in the required, because your data must be stable before this all clock related constraints are subtracted. So let's say 10.18 minus, we will have 30, and here it is 300 picoseconds is your clock uncertainty, which will be having skew and jitter values, and library setup time of 30 picoseconds. So those are getting subtracted, and after that you get the final required time. So your final required time is actually 9.85 nanoseconds. So you can clearly see that your required time is this and arrival time is this. That means this is your window of 9.85. You are supposed to arrive before this edge, but you are arriving around 2.65, which is here, somewhere here. So you are already having enough margin. So you will be meeting the slack. That is how it is calculated. Slack is met by 7.20 sec. So you have this much enough slack still left with you. So this is into reg timing path report understanding. That's all for this video. In next video, we will understand about if there are violations in the setup or whole timing path, how can we fix them? So that will be going to be very important for those who are beginners. So please stay tuned and share the video with the friends and colleagues of yours. And please like the video and please give your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.